Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach, and today's episode is a daily tip on effective communications techniques for both staff and clients. And so without further ado, let's just dive in. And really, for us, what it boils down to is being prompt, being clear, and being prompt. And it really is that simple for communication. And what we want to do for our staff is make sure that there's no questions, right? We want to say things clearly. We want to um, take away any opportunities that there could cause confusion. So opportunities for confusion to arise, and we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and understands what the tasks are and what the mission is. So, for instance, we actually talk a lot with our manager to ensure that they understand what we're thinking, why we're making the decisions that we're making, and so that way when she is looking at trying to problem solve and make decisions, she can be closer aligned to the decisions that we would make. And that's really the goal. So we want to set up our manager to be a good steward of the business, as well as our staff. We want the staff to also follow along in that same thread. So if they understand why we're making decisions and the decisions that we are making, then they can have a better idea of the types of decisions that we make, and then the things that may or may not be approved, or things requests that they might make that we might not go with. And so it's really just to make sure that we're all aligned and on the same page and everything like that. Then, as far as clients go, we want to make sure that we're communicating well with them. Actually, I was at an on-site coaching session with a client, and they do an excellent job at this. So they have a team that is just the communications team, and so they have two people that are just sending them information whenever it's needed, following up, just being on top of communicating with the couples and making sure that they're not stressed out or they're not in the dark or anything when it comes time for their big day. And so I really admired that they had that set up that way, because now nothing's being left in the dark. The couples don't want to be left in the dark. They want to know what's going on. And so we're able to just alleviate any of those doubts, hesitations, fears, things like that, by just being in contact with them. And so I thought that that was actually a really cool setup. And we communicate very well with our clients. We just don't have a separate person dedicated to that task, but there is merit there, and I think that it doesn't really matter who does the work. It matters that the work gets done. And that's what I was seeing with the communication. So if you need an extra person to just communicate with the couples after you get the booking, then great. Get that person on there. If you can handle all of that and handle all of the sales coming in, then also great. It doesn't really matter who the person is. It just matters that the task gets done. So that's really, I mean, that's what we do at our venues, and it works. And people say, "Oh, they're so great. They're on top of it every step of the way. They were taking care of us," and that's the feeling that you want to get and have your clients report back to you, so that you can attract more of couples who are looking for that sort of thing. So they want to know that you're going to be there. They don't just want to rent a physical space and that's it. They want they want the full experience. So give it to them. Anyways, that's the long and short of communication and the style that we like to use. And if this was useful for you, which I hope it was, please subscribe and stay tuned for the next one.